Welcome back to the Toffee Blues, your source for all things Everton. I'm Ellis Nortoff, and today I'm here to preview Ipswich Town versus Everton. It's an away game. It's a very far away game for all those fans travelling, but hopefully it's going to be a victory for Everton. So let's get straight into it and look at some team news. So Sean Dyche has just finished his press conference, and it seems like Jared Branthwaite might just miss out again. It seems like a touch and go situation, really. Of course, he's been in and out so far, and we know how much we need him, but we're not fully sure whether he'll play this game. Sounds like Vitaly Mikalenko will feature, which is a good sign, but two more damning injuries have come through in that press conference. Timmy Rabunam, James Garner, both won't be playing in this game. A real hit to our midfield, I think that, and not ideal at all, of course, because then it leaves you with not many options off the bench. So not ideal in that sense. In terms of what I expect to see, I don't think you're going to see Jake O'Brien come in again. So it'll be Keane and Tarkovsky. Of course, he's going to trust Young at right back, I imagine. So I think we'll see him as well, who probably warrants a start based on his performances recently. He's been a lot more steady than normal. Mikalenko probably as well. Of course, Pickford in goal. And I think we'll see that Mangala and Decore in midfield. And then Ndai, McNeil, Harrison, DCL, something like that. But I'm not the one for starting 11, so make sure you go and watch the starting 11 show. As for Ipswich, they're a side they've had an okay start, haven't they? But they're winless. That's the thing. They've got four draws in a row before the defeat to West Ham last time out. And it's a weird one, really, Ipswich, isn't it? They've not set the world alight, but they've looked more solid than I'd have expected them to be. I thought that they'd be quite an exciting team that are leaking goals and scoring goals. But, they've kept a couple of clean sheets. They've been a bit tighter at the back than I thought, and they're doing all right so far. But we have to remember they have spent a lot of money as well. They have really committed to trying to stay in the Premier League this year. Look at the players that they've got in their team. Players like Calvin Phillips, Jacob Greaves, actually players who we were very interested in who've gone to Ipswich. So they've definitely been brave in the window and they're trying to stay in the Premier League. But I think the fruits of that have not really shown quite yet so far. And it's a game that Everton absolutely should be winning. Yes, we haven't won an away game yet. We've only just got our first home win against Crystal Palace a few weeks ago, and we need that away one now, don't we? And this represents a good opportunity to do that. It's a massive trip down for the fans, so they deserve a big performance. I think it could be 5, 6 hour journey really for them. Depends how you go on the train. You could be looking at 6 or 7, maybe even. So they better put a performance out for them Blues that are going down there. But yeah, I think in terms of the game, we can't sit back and just try and counter it, which we need to go at them. We're Everton at the end of the day. We can't be going into games so negatively, especially against newly promoted sides. And our form against newly promoted sides in recent years has been awful, hasn't it? And this game, you've got to just go for it and try and be on the front foot because we know that we've got attacking talent now. We saw in that Leicester game where the likes of Iliman and Dye can get on the ball, get involved, and we can really go at teams. Of course, we didn't win that game, but it was a decent performance overall. So we need a bit more of that, a bit more impetus, and I just hope that we actually go and attack the game and try and win. And it's a shame that we have to ask for that, isn't it? But that's definitely what I'm looking for in the game. I think they've got some ability to be fair to them. Sammy Smodic's obviously an interesting player who scored bags of goals for Blackburn in the Championship. Scored one or two maybe so far in the Premier League, but he's not necessarily firing, is he? But I'll hold that one a bit. Just I don't want to tempt fate on that front. But yeah, Sammy Smodic's up front. They've got Liam Delap as well. He's obviously a really talented player. Leif Davis at left back's good as well. So they have got players that we need to worry about, but you don't. I think in these kind of games you don't change your way of playing for Ipswich. You set up your way and try and beat them in that way, I think. So I think we can do it. I think we have to make sure we are tight because that's been a massive problem this season. Seems to have steadied a bit recently. I've got a bit more hope for us now. I think if we sit tight and then use our attacking threat in this game, we definitely can get through it and get through it with a win. And it would just look really good, wouldn't it, if we went and won this game now and we could really say the tide has started to turn in our season. It'd then be 4 games unbeaten. Although they've not all been the best performances. 4 games unbeaten would then look good, and you'd be on 8 points. And that would just push you a bit more into that pack. And that's where we need to be, isn't it? We can't be lingering around the relegation zone because we know what's coming in December. There's a massively difficult run of games. So we have to be out of it by then. We have to be in that middle pack fighting for the likes of 11th, 12th, that kind of area. And I think winning this game just brings you up into that area and hopefully can help us then stay there because we've got a decent run of games coming up. We've got Ipswich this Saturday. Then we've got Fulham, which is going to be a very tough game at Goodison, but it is, of course, winnable as well. And then you've got Southampton, and that's two out of three of those sides haven't won a game yet. So we have to be targeting them games for points, and I think we will do. I've got hope that a bit of Illiman and Die brilliance is going to get us through this game. If I was to make a prediction for it, I think we are going to win. I think they'll score as well. I think I'll go with 2-1 to us. I back us, but we're not going to batter them, are we? Gone are the days of going to newly promoted teams and sweeping them aside, like in the Martinez days and stuff. But hopefully we can just get that win, build the feeling back up, get that good feeling of the takeover, and a side that are hopefully steady now and starting to move forward because we just can't be in this pit of despair, can we? It's just not what you need going into the last season at Goodison. It's such a big season for us as a club, and we want to make the most of that, don't we? So get these points in the away game so you can take the pressure off the home games because we do not want every remaining home game of this season to be a horrible pressurized mess, do we? Because we want to enjoy leaving the ground. We want to enjoy remembering for it for everything that it's been. And I suppose getting points on the road is exactly how we're going to do that. And if we were to lose against Ipswich, that is instantly back into danger territory. Everyone's heads completely turn at that point. You think completely differently as you would if we'd have won. You come back from the international break, time to continue that half decent form, and then you lose. That can't happen. That cannot happen. And hopefully it doesn't, because if that happens, then there's questions raised about the manager again, which are absolutely valid. And I think a lot of people are concluding that they hope we just get a bit better and he can see out the season and then leave at the end of his contract. But we really can't afford to spiral into negative form again. So fingers crossed we don't do that. Please let me know what you think. Do you think Ipswich is a game that we should absolutely go for? Because I think it is. I don't think you should be conservative in these games, even if it is regarded as a bit of a six-pointer. I think you've got to go and try and win. And let me know what you think on that. How do you think we should set up? Are you worried about the lack of midfield depth as well? Timur Abunam and James Garner not being there is a bit of a problem. Also, James Garner's a bit of right back depth now that we're going to lose. So let me know what you think. Give me your score predictions in the comments as well. Is this going to be Everton's first away win? I truly hope so. But that wraps up the preview for Ipswich Town versus Everton on Saturday at 3 o'clock at Portman Road. A new ground for many Evertonians will be going, younger Evertonians who haven't seen Ipswich in the Premier League before. Anyone going, I do hope you enjoy it, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you later.